Good evening, and welcome to RockYouth, RockTruth. I am one of your hosts, Tamoy, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth or absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is consistently questioned, criticized, and often put a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. Rock Truth is founded on He, who is the original point of reference for all things to come in eternity. Rock Truth is a cross-cultural response to the economic climate and social crisis of today. Rock Truth is designed to serve the physical needs of the fallen man while spreading the spiritual needs that impact, affect, and infect generationally. Rock Truth is to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established kings and queens of culture while promoting awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. Y'all throwing me off in the comments about the baby.
Yeah. If you can hear him,
It's
he
the
back
baby
there.
for me.
He is
It's
back
the
there.
baby for me.
He
Tamoy,
is.
you can hear him while you were.
Yes, but you know it was fine. Because you're having a good time, I'm having a good time. Let's just do it.
He is doing
Let's do
the
it.
most right now. And
Oh,
I and,
you couldn't mute because you were playing the music. That's
right,
Exactly. And
right,
I'm going. So,
right.
you know,
it's slow. It's okay.
Is either play the music and let him have his time, but
Right.
but I will tell you this: on just about every show, you can hear him.
Yes.
In every show, every promotion, every
I mean, he
commercial,
rocking the youth.
he is the Rock Truth baby.
Rock Truth Youth baby.
Baby. Rock baby.
Hey, he is in everything Rock Truth.
And that's cool.
All right.
Okay, but speaking of truth, y'all get some of this snow yet? Like,
It's coming down. It's coming down on my end.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not maybe not Shannon.
It's playing.
Not
I'm important. It's playing over here.
Yeah.
But I heard it hit real hard in Maryville tonight.
Oh yeah. You in Portage? Where you at in Portage?
My sister's, well, my mom's house.
Right. Okay. So when I say where you at, oh, you're on Central. Okay. Okay. You know, because see, my wife does that. Like I'll ask her where she at, and she'll be like, "I'm at," and then she'll say something like, "I'm with my sister." No. That's not what I asked you.
Right.
I asked you, where were you? I didn't ask you who you were with.
Yeah.
Ooh, God bless her soul. And pray for her strength in the Lord.
Right.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know, I'm right up the street. If you in Portage, I can get a hold of you if I have to.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I broke it. I thought I was looking at.
I'm surprised you ain't broke one of them nails yet.
I know.
Remember, I had just got them done again for my birthday. Remember, they was pink.
Yeah.
I had got them done again, and I'm finna get them done again. It's a sale, y'all. It's a holiday sale, like where I can get them done every week.
Oh, okay.
So I had them done last week, and I'm gonna get them done again this Friday because she got
fingernails.
Thank you. Because I don't
I
see
like
how you
she
live
got
life, how you living life with them things.
this this
Life.
this is all it's natural.
What's
Yeah,
natural? Your fingernails are
this life,
natural. Your
this
fingernails.
life. I didn't say that. I said this life, this fingernail life,
So
this
the
glamorous
fingernail not life is natural.
this
Okay.
glamorous life. You see this? You see my stone?
You are shining. You are bling blow, blingity blank. Yeah, yeah. So hey, hold on. It's been a minute since we seen you. How things going? Everything's getting better.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna complain. I'm
yeah,
blessed every day.
yeah,
But
yeah.
uh, as for life, I'm honestly preparing to like as I'm finishing like this is supposed to be my last year of school type. So
Okay.
I'm just preparing to just I want to get licensed in this one thing and then work if I want to, like the field.
Mhm.
But other than that, I don't really have to because I do the financial thing over my phone. So like I
Okay.
really just work wherever I go. But I plan on moving to Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, I want to start like a fresh new something.
I
I'm
understand.
22. I'm young. I don't have any. So
That's
yeah.
no, that's good. Texas is hot.
Yeah, but I heard it's better down there atmosphere wise and like for health. So I want to see what it's
Yes,
like.
yes.
'Cause
I got a buddy right now. He's got eczema real bad
yes,
and asthma, and
yes, that's
he
me.
he moved he moved to Texas and everything cleared up.
Yeah, I need to
So
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Star, I like that new hat you got.
Hello,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? That Rock Truth Nation hat.
RTN.
You know what I'm saying?
I
True.
went I went to the mall out here and I got my shirt made for the conference and I got my
Uh,
hat made.
okay.
So yeah, I got to get my hat collection up for each segment of our crew.
Oh,
I
that's what's
need one
up.
for Queens. I need one for Singles. I need one for you.
You really don't need
Yeah.
any Queens, though. Queens is fine.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Let me be great.
Hello.
Y'all already got your crowns and all that little
Let
jewelry.
me be great. You ain't got- Yeah, well, you know what? You're right. I don't need one for
Right.
Queen,
See,
but
see.
for you. But let me be great. It's okay.
Ah, boy.
He's whining.
Who is that?
Say hi. His name is Ruger.
Ruger.
Ruger,
Pistol.
not Ruga. Like, is that a
Oh,
gun?
oh,
Don't
yeah.
make me.
A Ruger. Oh, don't snap off. Do not snap off. Do not snap off.
He whining because he just wants attention. But
Of course. Don't all dogs just want attention?
oh,
Oh,
oh
what y'all do? What did y'all do for inauguration? Day
I survived.
yeah.
time. Damn, I don't even know if it was y'all. You know, whatever.
We still here.
They was
Because
saying it's gonna be
the
tough.
craziness didn't happen.
Right. I thought it was going to be Mexican got on boots.
Mike. Because
I thought it was going to be Mexican got on boots. I was waiting to post that.
for a second there, I was like, these folk then really didn't got crazy. They didn't really didn't got crazy. Like they
No,
got crazy. They went and got that
there's
crazy.
no God. There's no God. They've been.
They
Okay. Yeah.
woo, my goodness.
Yeah.
And I was telling this to one of my partners at work. I said, if that had been us, wouldn't have been no arrest. Wouldn't have been
No,
no arrest. It would have been
no.
body bags.
Not one monkey would have got over that wall. Not
Body
one.
bags. Just body bags. You get as many they would have called the national guard, get the body bags. So they ain't worried about nobody climbing over no wall at the Capitol that's this color. Body bags.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Call the coroner, get the coroner in here, get the undertakers, get all the body bags y'all can get, and all the ice because this get them out of here. It
Mm.
would have been a totally different situation.
We wouldn't even got the body bags, okay?
That's or the corners, right?
That's just being generous, but okay.
Right, right. Y'all fearless leader here,
Hey,
Selena.
blessed
She
royale.
she out there driving on the bayous, in the highways,
And the
on her
ballet
way on her way in. But we see you.
and the
Yeah,
Yes.
scouting.
yeah, right. The skyway. Did she send you the map too? She sent me the map, and
On
I'm
the
like,
Send me
girl,
the map. She said, "Sister, I promise you, the setup is not real." Cause she know. I'll be like, "Oh, the setup is real." Yeah, y'all be getting me. Y'all too.
what are you referring
Will,
to?
Willie and Selena be. I'm
Willie,
sorry.
What are you talking about?
y'all
He got
said
named Willie. He got named Willie, so that's his new name.
Willie and Selena.
I'm just saying. What are you referring to? Are you trying to imply that we're helping you grow?
Y'all
And
be setting me up.
set you up? No. You gotta
Yeah,
set
Set
it's
up.
me
okay.
up.
It's
Y'all
okay though.
set up.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But
I am too, because I always got some
I
back
see
to you.
you. Okay.
Wow.
I'm
Bow.
my position within this
This one
company
over here.
is about growth.
Bullet.
It's growth.
Absolutely.
It's growth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I promise you, I am not this talkative. If we was in person, y'all be like, what's wrong with him? I'm six. I do not do this on a regular basis. So I'm just cultivating. I'm that's what we're here for. We're here to cultivate. Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm a pretty good talker.
Absolutely. It's all good. I just want you to know that I see you and I know what you're doing. That
I am
I just gotta
doing
call you out on it.
I'm doing the Lord's work. That's all it is.
And you know what? Who are we to interfere? Who are we?
You're right. You're right.
Absolutely.
You're right.
The
I'm
Lord brought you into my presence for a reason.
All right, Tomoy, you're supposed to help him. Okay.
Look, y'all need to see what my baby doing. Look what he doing. Look what he doing. This joker then got up on the stool.
Oh wow.
And yeah. Oh, he is a climber. He is a climber. Yeah.
They usually are these days.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going.
Very resilient.
Yes.
Very.
Right. He gonna jump off that stool in a second. Let me get him before.
Yeah, and I mean, like they get back up like it was a bouncing house. And we over here like, oh my God, are you okay?
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
I be like, my nephew be falling, and I be like, Jesus.
Right.
I be falling out, Jesus.
Not me. I'm used to it now. I got 3 of them. I be like,
I'm fresh. I'm a fresh auntie. So
yeah,
I'm a fresh little baby parent.
You'll get used to it. But Tamuya, did you ever reach out to I forgot his name. We did a show a couple weeks ago and he has the funeral home.
No. I haven't even. You know, I should have because like that week, but I still got his information and stuff. I'm really on like a path right now with like my career type. Like it's still the same. It's just everything. It'll come together. It'll all make sense in the end.
I got you.
It'll all make sense. The Lord is working with me.
Absolutely.
I'm glad He's using me as a vessel. 22 years old. It gets no better than this.
22?
22. I just turned 22 last week.
Wow. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessed assurance.
Did you do anything special?
Well, you know what? This is what I did. So Miss K told me because it was a couple weeks or a week before my birthday, we did a show. And I was telling her that I wanted hibachi. I was going to go to the house of Kobe, and she plugged me and told me that hibachi does lunch cheaper for the same amount of food. So me and my mom and my sisters and my friend, we went and we had a really nice time. I had me a couple of drinks. It was really nice.
That's good.
Really nice. It was very elegant. I had on like this white, and then I had on these tan like dress type of really nice. Very nice. I have my blonde. You know how I do.
Yeah, that's all good.
But yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm excited to meet and talk to our guest for today.
I know, Miss
Yeah,
Peterson.
yeah, Miss Peterson.
You know what they say about the Petersons?
What they say about Peterson?
Right.
Well,
Enlighten
not
us.
well. She's there's different Petersons, but
All right.
you know about the other one.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it.
I am confused. I am thoroughly
Yeah,
It's
confused.
all
you
wrong
just gotta
people.
wing and go with it. There you go.
Why are we winking?
Just wing and go with it.
That,
Okay.
that's no, I don't want to wink and go with this. I don't think I want to be a part of this. I'm
You
scared.
gotta be. Oh, okay.
Peterson.
I am terrified. I am absolutely terrified.
Peterson.
Don't be scared. Hi,
Who?
Lakeisha.
Hi,
Lakeisha Page.
Lakeisha.
Hey, y'all.
Madam Page.
Oh, tune in with
Yeah.
us.
Shout
Wait,
out.
do we open the phone lines or do we do that anymore?
Yeah, we still open the phone lines, but we could let's
Well,
tell you
wait
what,
till
let's take the break. Let's take the
right.
break because it's 16 minutes in now. And after the break, we'll open the phone lines and then we'll introduce our guest. How about that? Y'all
I
down with
think
that?
it's a great idea.
Okay. All right, cool.
Mr.
Lakeisha
Leader.
Renee. Lakeisha Renee.
Renee, sis.
Keisha
And
Renee. Oh, that's my sis.
That's your sis? Oh, that's family.
sis.
The fact that you didn't know that in the
That's what I'm
beginning,
saying. Like,
that kind of bothered me.
It says
Like,
Lakeisha Page. I'm like, I don't know. Okay.
well, I mean,
I love
this
you,
is
sis.
Paige.
Because he don't got no sense.
what?
No, it's big time.
All right, let's go to our break and then we'll come back and we'll get into our guest for the evening.
RockTruth got merch, y'all. Who is your true north? Who holds you down so you'll always know where you are? God, the original true north, the original point of reference. Check out our clothing line, True North, at RockTruth2.com for your kingdom culture needs. Everything from tees to sweats, men's, women's, and kids' sizes. Inez Essentials Whipped Body Butter has a wide assortment of 8-ounce body butter made with unrefined shea and mango butter, infused with vitamin E oil, coconut oil, sweet almond oil, natural mica powder, and fragrant essential oils. It is designed to heal and moisturize dry skin, and it is perfect for the whole family. Our whipped shea butter is handcrafted with a blend of natural and organic ingredients. The unicorn body butter can be customized to the scent of your choice. If a scent is not chosen, no scent will be added. Have you been searching for a custom home decor and crafts? Check out Delicious Designs. For more information, simply search Della Williamson on Facebook. Are you in need of advertisement or marketing tools? Branded in his image prints, logos, flyers. Contact us today. RockTruth Prints is ready to serve your printing and designing needs. We offer a full array of marketing tools, logos, flyers, business cards, video ads, and website designs. If you need our services for prints, we got you there too. Contact us at rocktruthradio@gmail.com for more information.
All right, we are back. Huh? You said Rock Truth got merch, y'all.
I get
Every time I hear her say, because you got to realize when I was cutting the video, like I had to hear that like 400 times. I was just like it's so distinct. Rock Truth got merch, y'all.
merch, y'all.
Right. Oh, I got that.
Oh man, that is just something else. Boy. All right. So who's got the Miss Justina Peterson's intro? Anybody? Oh yeah, y'all just gonna look at me like I got all of it. Yeah, yeah. Nobody want to read her bio. I tell you what, I'll read her bio. Looks
Don't be
like
putting me on the spot.
I looks
I'm
like
taking
I am
notes right
doing.
here, so let me know.
I got it. You want to do it?
No,
No, this your show. You know
I just want to know what you finna say.
what? I got a short bio right here. Yeah, that's what I was gonna read. The one that you should have the same one. It's in the group text.
The short bio.
I read it earlier.
Right. I was gonna read it again as her introduction to the show. Oh, okay. Well,
You want me to read it?
Rock Truth, Rock Youth. Just real quick, we're going to be bringing in real soon here Miss Justina Peterson. She is an author. She is a cheerleader for women, a mom, a certified life coach, writer, and now an author. She has discovered her voice is worth hearing and a powerful story worth reading. A graduate of the University of Albany, New York, Miss Justina here is the founder of Will Pow Her Tribe. I like to play on words there. Her goal is to help women shift their self-perception and support them in becoming the proposed and successful people they were created to be. She is also, case in point, she is also the CEO of Justina Peterson and Associates, a teaching and coaching firm aimed to help individuals becoming their best selves. And without further ado, we're gonna bring in Miss Peterson, yo.
All
Miss
right.
Peterson, how are you doing?
Oh, Lord.
Peterson.
Yeah, I think you. I wait, hold on. I think your mic is
Oh,
muted. You got there.
All
You
right,
go.
you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear
Good
you.
evening.
We can hear you. How are
Thank
you?
you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Good.
Pretty
Great.
good.
Great.
Yeah. So, this is, as you can see, I am not a part of the youth show. So I'm going to allow the youth to ask
That's
all the questions.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Justina Peterson.
Hi.
Hello. Um. Oh.
Look at
I'm.
those
I'm
nails, Hunty. Can I just say that?
Ooh, wait.
Woo! Listen, don't
all
hurt
right.
nobody.
Cause I'm all for it, man. But I guess I should just start off by saying like, tell us tell tell us about you and yourself and where you're from, and then I'll hop into the deeper, I guess. But I
Okay, so
can start.
just a real quick background about me. I'm born and raised in a small town, Beacon, New York. And I now reside in Atlanta with my beautiful baby girl. She is 2 years old, 2.5. And, I went through a lot of trauma as a child. I went through physical abuse and sexual abuse from 9 years old to 15 years old. And I struggled with drugs and alcohol and sexual promiscuity and stripping and selling drugs and doing drugs. And so, I have lived and experienced my quite deal of trauma and being able to get through. And so now being on the other side, I just want to be able to coach women how to do the same. Because when you're in it, you feel like this is it and there can't be anything better. And I'm just living proof that there is.
Wow.
I
Man.
mean, it was just so fast and so like concise, but I loved it.
Yeah, that's usually what it does.
You said pitch it like 60
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah, and she gave you the elevator speech. Like she's like, I ain't got that much time. And you know what? I like. Hold on, before you go on to noise, I like the fact that you took your trauma and you were able to sum it up in just enough time to help us understand that you passed that. You know,
Right.
because a lot of times we dwell on that, we dwell on our trauma so much that we sit there, we tell every little detail, and we tell like, no, you're done with that. That was the past.
Right.
This is now.
Right.
Let's move forward. Yeah, it happened. Whatever. Here we are today.
Right. And whenever you speak about trauma or your past, it has to be in a way where, like you said, you show that you've come to the other side. Because when you start to dwell and harp and cry, it just shows that you really haven't
haven't begun that healing process, or you're
Right.
not fully through it, right? And
Yeah.
so you got to be able to touch and go, because people
Yeah.
need to know that you're solid, you know? So
Right.
yeah, great you weren't, but now, you know, how do you help the people that are ready to receive a solid individual? So that's
Right.
for me. I just gotta touch and go. It happened, but let's get to the meat and potatoes. Let's get to the
Yeah.
healing and the living the best life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Is that how you go about like with your trauma coaching when you're coaching others through their abuse or like mental type? Is that how you like coach through it? Like,
So yeah, so whenever we're doing coaching with, so you know, it's a firm, so it's not just me, it's other, you know, other people as well. So whenever
yeah,
we're coaching women, you know, usually when they're coming to the table, it's that they've recognized that they've been through trauma, and that possibly, you know, they're in an area, okay, I want to go further, but I don't know how to get there. I've got some on what the goals look like, or how to set the boundaries and the expectations to get there. And we're just a friendly way, a coach and assistant to just to show you how to set those boundaries, how to set the goals, how to stick to them, how to expect more from yourself, how to expect more from others, and then to be able to deliver it. Because if you don't have deliverables, then you can tend to fall back into the rut in which you just got out of. So our
We're losing audio. I'm losing audio on you, Miss Peterson. We didn't hear that last little bit.
oh,
Oh no.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I didn't hear that last little bit. We lost audio for a second there.
Oh, okay. So I was saying, you know, our coaching firm, it just shows you how to get to the other side, how to have your deliverables. And so, you know, your deliverables are your goals, are your mindset, right? Your perception. And once you can start to shift your perception, everything else shifts, because everything is a mindset. If you behave like a victim, you're a victim. If you have a
Mm.
mindset of a victim, you're a victim. But if you have a
Hmm.
mindset of a victor, I don't care what you've been through, there's nothing that's going to be able to tear you down.
Right. Right. Shannon, I see you writing something. What you writing?
Yeah, I mean that deliverables just, you know, it hit me different because I'm also a victim of sexual abuse, physical
Mhm.
abuse, emotional and psychological abuse. It started for me probably about, I would say, 3 or 4, up
Mhm.
until the sexual abuse and physical abuse up until I was 13, and then the emotional and psychological abuse continued. So I, you know, when I began to read your story, I'm like a kid in a candy shop, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like, yay, I want to hear, you know, what she has to say. You know, your story is very inspiring to me, for one, because just to be able to see you move from where you were, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, pass through that. And a lot of times, so a question that I have for you is how would you encourage the woman that is coming out of, I guess, that cycle of those
Mhm.
trauma,
Mhm.
realizing that her life has kind of been secluded. You know what I mean? Like her existence or her being has kind of been secluded,
Mhm.
and one day she just kind of looks up and see that life has kind of passed her by,
Mhm.
and maybe she's well into her 30s or 40s, you know, and it just, at that point, it just seems as if she's missed out on a lot, and maybe it's too late for her to move forward. So how would you advise a woman in that particular position?
Right. So that's such a great question. Thank you so much for asking that. So first, how I would advise that woman is we've got to start with it's okay, right? Because until you know it's okay, you can't begin to heal, because you're constantly in the mindset of where you're asking questions. What did I do? What could I have done differently? And 9 times out of 10, it's not you. It's something that may have happened to you that triggered you at 3 or 4 or 12, or whenever that trauma took place, and it just happened to follow you into adulthood. And so this is the first time we're ever living this life. There's no book on how to live this life, on how to get it right. And so we have to be kind to ourselves, and we have to be patient with ourselves. So that would be the first thing that I would tell her, that it's okay, and be kind and patient with yourself. And then the next thing is find your why, because sometimes we're not big enough, right? So for me, I wasn't a big enough why I needed to quit drugs and stop selling drugs and stop working at the strip club and take care of my daughter. My daughter was my why. And so once I had her, my why changed. And then after I had my daughter and I finally got my life together, I changed my why again. While my daughter is still included in my why is now being able to carry my cross for millions of women that have also endured the same story and the same testimony that need someone to go forward and say, hashtag me too, right? It happened. This is my story, but I'm a victor, not a victim. And if God will do it for me, then surely he'll do it for you. And so, find your why and run with it. It's going to be hard. There's going to be days you're going to want to go back to what you know, what's
Yeah.
comfortable, but you have to be willing to stay the course, because even though it's hard, it's worth it. When I finally got saved and delivered and got off drugs and alcohol, I became homeless. My truck got evicted, and I'm thinking, Jesus, I finally get my life together. This how you gonna do me, right?
Right.
And so you have to stick it out, because what's on the
Yeah.
other side is so much greater. But you've got to be shed of that dead weight. And how bad do you
Right.
want it? If you don't want it bad enough, if you don't know your why, then you'll continue to slip into the things that cause you pain and make you drown in sorrow, depression, drugs, alcohol, addiction, whatever it is. So find your why and fight like you've never fought before.
So is it like going?
Your mic is muted, Tamoya.
Oh, okay. So
There you go.
is it like going over the mountain or through the mountain?
Oh, I would definitely say climbing. Nick, climbing the mountain, absolutely. Because I mean, I've never climbed a mountain before, but I don't imagine I don't imagine I'd want to in real life. But but figuratively, yes, it's definitely like climbing a mountain and knowing where to step and where not to step, being able to have that stamina to hold on, to keep pushing through, because
Yeah.
that incline, it's getting harder and harder and harder. And so some people give up, and they give up
Yeah.
right before the blessing. And so I realized that the hardest part is right before the blessing. So the easy part is doing the drugs, right? Selling the drugs, walling out. That's the easy part. The hard part
Right.
is actually being able to stick it out to see the blessing once you've gotten your life together.
Yeah. It's like plot, rising action, and then it's that climax,
Hmm.
resolution type. It's like right
Right.
before you get it, you don't even get that relief.
Mm.
You've already given it or went back.
Right.
But now that you say something, it's like going over or through the mountain. Like
Right.
sometimes going over doesn't work for some people, and
Right.
to try again. Like that's where they're reverting, and they're like they're going back to what they know because they made it over. Because like maybe they're the type of person that have to go through. They have to actually break all of those barriers and release all of that shit. They can't leave any behind because it's something that's just
Right.
gonna.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like that.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay, I have another question. Really, predominantly like for Rock True because that's
Hmm.
all I do is Rock True. So, um, like I know you like being a businesswoman and being a woman of God and women empowerment because I'm all about women empowerment, especially us women of color because nobody else gets it harder than us. So
Mm.
you being you and wanting to help and empower other women, how do you stay rocking your truth like every day, trying to be a better you to help somebody else in need?
Every day, how do I rock my truth to be a better me and help other people? I definitely would say starting my day with prayer and asking God to show me those people that I can help. But also greeting my day with humility, remembering where I came from, how I started, not in a way where I'm mourning or, feeling like I'm missing out on the past, but in a way that keeps me humble, that keeps me connected to those that need me most, to those that need my testimony. Like, for instance, yesterday I went to dinner with a group of friends and I surprised them and I picked up the check. But I remember 2 years ago, I was never able to do that. And so, because I was in a place of humility and be able to be true to who I am, I'm generous from my heart, mentally, physically, and financially. And so, always just staying true to who you are and not just being like, oh, I'm in this place, I've made it through, so I don't have to help the next person. You're always going to have to go forward, but you're going to have to reach back and pull someone else forward with you. If I'm going forward on my own, but I'm not helping the person that's behind me, then guess what? Sooner or later, that's where I'm going to end up. So never forgetting where I came from and always willing to be able to help those less fortunate and reach my hand back and say, sis, I got you. We got this. We can do it. And just showing them what it looks like to not give up. Because we've got to be doers and not just talkers, right? We can talk all day, but what are our actions saying?
Wow. I mean, thank you for even, thank you for saying that about reaching back to pull somebody else forward, because if we don't do that, then everything we really went through is for
For
nothing,
nothing.
really,
Right.
because, our life is really not our own,
No.
and
Right.
if you have the ability to help someone else out of, their ditch or their hole or wherever they're at, why not? It's not going to take anything away from you to do it. I mean, anytime you help somebody, of course, it's going to be a sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice time, energy. You're
Right.
going to sacrifice something. But when you do it
Yeah.
for the
Right.
glory of that, he
Right.
will always honor you and bless you for that. So, and I think that's important for our youth to hear, because society nowadays is conditioning our youth to be selfish and self-centered, and it's okay,
Right.
forget the person, worry about
Right.
yourself. It's just not how it is. We
Right.
all
And it's just
need,
not.
we need people, so
Right.
um
Right. I
we
1,000,000% agree.
yeah, we
Yeah.
have a
And
question in the comments.
oh,
It
what did you say?
says, yeah, we have a question in the comment. It says, any
hmm
pitfalls that you feel our young people can avoid?
Oh, well, see, that is such a great question, right? Because we can sit here all day and tell young people about all the pitfalls that they can
Right.
avoid. But, right, you've been a kid and I've been a kid, and we've been told to not hang out with this crowd and not to hang out with these cliques and not to do this and that. And unfortunately, life is a learning lesson. We can talk to the youth all day, but they have to be willing to make their own decisions. So, yeah, I can tell them, don't do drugs, don't hang out with the wrong people, speak up if you feel like you've been violated in any kind of way, mentally, physically, or emotionally. When you condone it one time, then you condone it every time, whether your words or your actions say yes or no. If you don't say no, then it's been condoned. So there's so many things that we can speak to the youth, but, are they in a space to receive it? Because unfortunately, we live in a time now where people will see the fire, and unfortunately the youth will see the fire, will tell them, hey, the fire is hot, but they got to walk, they got to make sure it's going to burn them. But if anyone's listening and they're really ready to receive the truth, and the truth is, of course, as cliche as it is, don't do drugs. Ask for help if you're feeling any type of feelings of, hurt or depression or homicidal or suicidal. Don't be afraid to speak up. If you see someone else in trouble, don't be afraid to help them or to ask for help for them. Make sure that you're using your voice in every area possible, but in a positive way. So use your words for good, for building up, and for helping, not for breaking down.
Yes, I 100% agree, because I feel like our voice is it's really like all we got to the end. Like,
Right.
people go out screaming, like, people go out, like, it's really all we got. And though we like not supposed to be using our tongue for evil stuff, because literally our mouth is all we got and it will take somebody out. Like, it's
Right.
just so many things that can be done, but it's really just about speaking up, like you know what's right. Like it's no secret. You know what's right and what's wrong unless you're a baby.
Right.
It's the world we live in. But you know what? We got another leader, another
Right.
new leader now. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see where God directs him and take
Right.
him to lead us on this journey.
Right. And individually, we have to just make sure that we're asking God to correct our posture as well. And
Mhm.
that He lead us and guide us, because it doesn't matter, who's in office, what
Yep.
does our heart posture look like? How are we serving? And are we expecting to be served more than we're serving, right? Because this life is about a life of servitude. How can I help you? How can I be of assistance? This isn't just about man and woman in a spousal relationship. This is man to man, or friend to friend, or woman to woman, or woman to child. It is a position of servitude. So definitely check your heart posture, and
Yeah.
don't worry about those around you. As long as you're doing what you have to, as long as you're helping those that need help, and you're using your testimony and you're using your voice in a positive way, there's no way in life that you're going to fail, no matter what it looks like.
Wow.
That's real life advice right there.
It's
Real life advice right there. Miss Peterson, you are definitely on fire. I mean, it's just amazing to me. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you this: I love your glow. I absolutely love your glow because you do not look like what you've been through. And a lot of times, as I mean, anybody, but as women, we sometimes when we begin to talk about, our traumas and things, like you said, we'll talk about those things, but you can see you can look at us and see that we're still there, got quite got over
Right.
it, but just sitting here like you are serving all kinds of life right now. You're glowing, and you just living us life right now, like
You guys are so
um,
crazy. Thank you.
you recently wrote a book. Can you tell us
Yes.
about
Yes,
what
I
do you
did. I'm gonna grab it too. Give me 2 seconds.
inside?
I'm so sorry. I should have had it next to me. So I did write a book, and my book is called Not in My Own Strength. And this book is my memoir. It's my testimony on, what I went through in life, and how I expect. And notice when I say expect, not hope, I expect how I expect to help women overcome and what that looks like. So I give people enough of my story where they can understand I've been in the nitty gritty. I'm not here Bible thumping and saying, this is my college degree. This is why I'm qualified. I'm telling you, the streets qualified me, the drug life, the stripper life, and out of their drama. So
Oh,
that's going to change women everywhere. And once we can start to shift the mindsets of women, their hearts are going to automatically shift with that. And they're going to be able to take back control of their life. They're going to be able to stand up, and it's going to be, I am woman, hear me roar all around the world, that women are ready to say no more. And they're going to speak out, and their voices are going to be heard. And I'm just looking forward to the movement.
man, because what a movement it will be.
yes.
Again, we've had them before back in the day, trying to get right to the road. I mean, it becomes double standards
Right.
for us, black and women.
Right. Hmm.
Oh, man. That movement is life.
Right.
Wow, yeah, Tamoya,
Mhm.
back in the day, you old sis.
I'm telling you, he better check
Mm-mm-mm.
himself. I'm just 22. Hold on, I'm 21. I'm
And Willie
old.
is in the background cutting up, y'all. But wow, so you wrote a memoir. I'm also aspiring author. I haven't published as of yet. I'm close to it, but I did write a memoir series. So my memoir series is 3 parts. My first unit is like a 2-in-1. So I kind of did like snapshots, and it doesn't go in order. So you can read either book, any which way. Is there like, do you have a method or a strategy that you use to get everything out on paper? Because for me, it was just like, I mean, literally, like I had nothing to do with this. God gave me everything. He showed me right. He gave me the vision for the book covers. He gave me each chapter. He gave me the title.
Right.
But yeah.
So for me, I would definitely say you need a sound editor because they're going to be the one that pulls it all together, and they're going to be the one that says to you, okay, where's your timeline? What happened first? What happened second? And so, I'm definitely going to recommend you to my favorite person who I'm going to publish everything through. But her name is Shu, and it's Grace Consultant Publishing Company, Grace and Hope Consultant Publishing Company. And they're very patient, and they show you how to pull it together. Not everybody's written 10 novels. Like, I mean, I wrote my first one, and when I tell you, it was a hot mess when I got done. It was a hot mess, but I felt so much better because it was therapy, but everything was all over the place. And then finally, once we got to, the third edit, things started to come together and it started to make more sense. Can you hear me still?
We can
hear you. We hear you.
Got you.
Oh, okay.
I thought we had you. We had you for 2 seconds. Bro, I feel like this only happened. We had you, and then we didn't, and now we got you back.
You're back. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, technology is bittersweet. Sometimes it works. Listen, sometimes it doesn't. We're still working through we're still working through it.
I mean, I feel like my generation, because I still say that, like, I'm not 100% where the kids at, where they grew up from here, and no, I'm a book reader. I like to have books and stuff. They on electronics. I'm not with all that electronic stuff, that young stuff.
Right.
I'm not with that.
Right.
I don't do it. But
right.
yeah, but that also goes into training up these kids. You know what I mean? But this still the youth.
So when you are too old for me.
This still
you have an old soul.
The youth, I guess.
Miss Peterson, you talk about what is a strong woman. We have our RockTruth.
What is a strong woman?
What is a strong woman?
Oh, okay. You know what? I think I wrote this on my website too, but I'm gonna try to remember what I wrote or just tell you what I'm feeling right now, right? But a strong woman, and you'll hear me say this, and it's been said before. What did you say?
I was saying just be organic, just go with the flow.
Right. So for me, a strong woman is someone that gets up and does it no matter what, in spite of the pain, in spite of the betrayal, despite, whatever the circumstances look like, the unwillingness to lay down and take the situation or the circumstances for how it looks, believing and knowing that it will get better and that it is going to be better and that situation is completely temporary. A strong woman is not willing to break or fold. Will there be times you cry? Absolutely. But you will get up every day and take back whatever part of your life you feel has been stolen from you. And, you'll do it with force, whether it's spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. It's setting boundaries and it's speaking up for yourself. That for me is a strong woman.
I mean,
you guys.
So you kill me.
See, and I'm trying to be like these young ones. There's so many sayings that you know how they be. That's another. They be like, you know how I do. I mean, it's just so many things that they be saying. So a strong woman,
Yes.
100% herself, 100% every day doing what she's supposed to do.
Right.
When she don't want to do it.
Can you,
Right.
hello?
Absolutely.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you. We can't see you, but we
Can you
can hear
say?
you.
I think. Okay, I fixed the problem. I found out what was wrong. My
We were having
computer.
a women
Did you
thing.
just bust? Did you
Hmm?
just bust through the broadcast?
Did I?
We
Did
were
I?
having a women thing over here.
We were having a woman thing. I thought that was the Queen show. The Queen show is on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. This is the youth show, and I got
No,
a youth.
it's
I
not
got a
Wednesdays, Thursdays.
oh
You don't,
Thursdays.
you
Okay,
don't, you
Thursday.
don't hear me.
Thursday. I just feel I got my computer working again. I got my computer working again. I feel like I should, at least acknowledge that I'm back.
We didn't even see you leave.
Huh?
Welcome back, Will. Welcome back.
You didn't need y'all didn't need me? Y'all didn't need me?
We've
No,
been
stay
doing
on.
it.
Y'all didn't, y'all didn't need me? I mean,
No, stay on. Stay
huh?
on. You might have some, some questions.
Yeah, no, it wasn't no question. It was more of a comment because it was something that I was reading that the strong woman comment, and it was something that me and the wife were just got finished actually talking about how women, and I believe this wholeheartedly, and I would imagine that you all would agree, but women will often take the back seat to certain things. They'll go without, right? And I found out just recently also that when a woman becomes pregnant, her body, it basically goes into a reverted mode where everything is for the baby. Like she doesn't take anything. Like she'll eat and none of that nourishment is going to her, is going toward the baby. Her life, her literal life is being drawn into a baby. And I don't care what anybody say. That is some hard, okay. That's some hard stuff right there to do. Because a man cannot do that. A man cannot take the back seat. I'm telling you from a man's point of view, it's about us. But for a woman, that's some really strong, that takes some gall. That really takes some gall to say, I'm gonna go without. I'm not gonna eat to allow my child to eat. I'm not gonna have nice things to make sure my child has nice things, or to make sure my family has nice things. That takes some real hardcore strength. I just wanted to say that because y'all out there doing some big things. Of course, I was raised by a strong black woman.
Yeah.
I was raised
Do
in
it
a,
for fun.
I was raised. Wait, y'all do what?
For fun, sometimes we want to give a little extra, give a little extra, get a little extra blessing. That's why I be doing extra stuff. I don't be wanting to miss out on no blessings. Do you know what we're in? We're in a pandemic. I cannot
No,
not miss no.
no, you can't. You definitely.
I'm out here flipping.
You did.
So I'm out here trying to whatever I could get, whatever I could do.
I mean, it's definitely it's a part of
right
us.
about it. You got
It's our nature. For me personally, I had really hard pregnancies. I had something. It's called hyperemesis, and it literally feels like you're laying in a bed dying. Like every smell, everything that you love, whatever food, like everything that I love food wise, just the smell of it. Like I couldn't lift my head off the pillow, just moving around. So where typically you would gain weight 20 to 40 pounds throughout your pregnancy, I lost 40 pounds within maybe 3 weeks.
right.
So everything that I was able to keep down, or that whatever my baby sucked all of that up. And I had to be put on a program where I walked around with a pump. It was a pump that I had it was like a line from a pump to my stomach. And over time I was able, it gave me regular medicine, like nausea medicine, because I couldn't take anything by mouth.
Yeah.
So it definitely is one of those things that we do because it's just a part of us taking it back, giving, and that's another form of trauma also.
Okay.
That's trauma by it's first of all, when you experience childhood adversity, it begins to condition you that other people's lives and happiness is more important than your own.
Okay.
So as time goes on, you grow accustomed to everybody else before you, other people's needs before you, at the expense of your own happiness. When you reach your adulthood, it explodes, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Right.
Now you're trying to find that ground of, okay, my happiness is important, and you're trying to put yourself first, and you realize that the people around you, they're not used to that. They're not used to you speaking up for yourself. So that's another layer of trauma and hardship that you got to go through, because now you got to either reteach them how to treat you or recognize your value, because until you recognize your own value, you can't expect anybody else to know your worth if you don't know it yourself. People got to treat people how to treat you. That's a sad thing to say. That's a really sad and hurtful thing to say, but it's the truth.
Right.
You have to literally teach people how to treat you. So, when you want, and then childbirth, giving birth is like the closest to death that women come to.
That's what I heard. Yeah. I ain't never experienced it, but that's what I heard.
Me either. I heard that.
That's not something I was telling the boys at work, I said, don't you ever disrespect a woman. She had a baby. Understand, a woman has a baby. There is life inside of her that she pushes out of her. If you can't do that, you ain't hard at all. You ain't nothing. Ain't no way I'll ever disrespect my wife because she pushed out a baby. Understand? That is hardcore. That is hardcore. Like, no. Hey, but I do want to say this. Stock, because you brought up an interesting point. At what point in time do women, and this kind of turned it into the Queen show, but at one point in time does a woman like stop taking that step back and recognizing that she needs to take care of herself, that she needs to, I know, right? Right. But when does it happen? Because, and before you answer, for me, and it's not the boast, but when I stepped into my wife's life, I forced her to start taking care of herself. Like, I reminded her that she had value. I encouraged her to go out and doll herself up, and I bought her nice things and lavish things. I'm not saying that I brought her up to the next level, but I forced her. I like every day I would say, hey, you are pretty, you are the best, you do this, you do that. And it's not that she never got to that moment by herself, but I felt like once we got married, all of that accelerated. So, like, for a single woman, I think everybody in this room is single. How does, when do you get to that moment and finally say that I'm not going to just give up on myself anymore? I'm pushing for me now.
Who's the question for? Any of us?
Well, you know what? I heard Miss Peterson. She already said it. She said it when her daughter was born, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I have been doing
Miss
it
Peterson,
like ever since, like faithfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Shannon, when was that moment for you?
I think the moment for me is even now.
Okay.
After going through my separation and my divorce, I really hit rock bottom. And when God kind of secluded me from it. When in the beginning of this pandemic, everything that I thought I needed in this life to survive, he literally stripped me of it.
Yeah.
He did it in parts though, it came, he stripped me away from it. My marriage ended, and then I lost the house, not lost the house, but I had to move out of where I was. And then I'm kind of not separated from my children, but as I get myself together, my children are with their father, so in that time, just all of those things are things that I thought, even my job, was my reason to live.
Right.
And I didn't think that I could ever live or survive without it. When this pandemic hit, he literally pulled me away from everybody. And I haven't really been this transparent with my testimony. However, in the beginning of this pandemic, I was living out of a hotel. And it wasn't until some months later where my coaching business was birthed, where God had to show me, you were in my ICU unit. I needed you. I needed to hook you up to my life support system because I didn't want anybody else's hands in the pot. And I needed you to just, I needed to get you by yourself and do what I needed to do. So until I do my own work, I had to be my why, because of the fact that I put everybody else before me, and I gave when I didn't have. I gave, beyond that, to the point where I was literally like Walking Dead. I was literally like, I was just, I can't say it was just me existing. I really wasn't living, that's for sure, but I was barely existing. And so I had to like, okay, sis, I need you to get this together. I'm going to pull you over here, and I got to show you some things, and I got to tell you some things, and I have to show you, and then that's when I myself begin to evolve. So I'm in this evolution journey as of right now. So it had to be, because God knew I wasn't going to do it for myself. So he literally had to kind of force me into this position because, I have that type of heart. I'm like, I got to take care of everybody else. I got to do for everybody else. I got to do, and I have always told me, you got to slow down. You got to take care of yourself. And even now, I still have a hard time because my life has always revolved around my children. My oldest daughter is 18. So from the moment that I found out I was pregnant with her at 16, my life began to change. Purpose began to come, because at that point, I was going downhill, at that point, because of all the trauma I had experienced, and the hurt and the pains and the betrayal, I was willing to take life. I was willing to take a life. I was out there in the streets, and I was selling drugs, and I was ready to be a gangbanger, whatever it took for me, but I wasn't even at that point. It was just like, okay, the next person that comes across my path, I'm just gonna take their life. And because I need to show these people that I'm not playing, they want to feel my wrath. This is how I want to show them. So up until now, it's just like, I'm still learning. I'm still there.
Start calling you Shannon Left Eye Star. He'll take the CIA out of there. She was over here left eyeing it up.
Thank God for Jesus, okay? Thank God for Jesus, because I tell people this, me being saved, my salvation was not just for me, okay? My enemies better thank God for my salvation, because it literally was for me, okay? Because of the path I was on, I say that to people. Thank God for Jesus. And this is why I stay before the throne.
Let them know. Let them know.
Right. I like it.
Yeah.
Right. No, they don't know. He was this close. If it wasn't for Jesus, he was this close. That's really tripped out. That you see isolation.
Peterson, I did have a question.
Right.
Because one thing that I learned about trauma is that trauma tends to mess with your ability to remember and your ability to retain information. So, did you have
Mm-hmm.
any difficulty recanting any happy memories as you begin to write? Because for me, it my first two books, the only thing I could remember really was all of the traumas. I couldn't remember barely
Right.
anything. So how was
Mm-hmm.
that experience for you? Were you able to recant any of that at the point where
I
you
would
were begin to write?
I would definitely be in the same boat with you. I definitely for this book, recalling the trauma was easy, man. I could write about the trauma for weeks or days or however long I needed to, but to recall the happy times, either they were so few, far, and in between that there were too little to recall, or like you said, the trauma overtook it that I don't even remember it. Like I remember the abuse and the beatings and everything else, but I very rarely remember me getting my birthday celebrated but one time. And so again, it could be the trauma is overweighing the good things, or maybe the good things came so few and in between. And like you said, when you've experienced this kind of trauma, you tend to not be able to recall that.
Wow. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I definitely, and for me, when I began to write 3 years ago, I was still very much in the thick of that hurt and that pain, and it
Hmm.
was right after my separation. I wasn't divorced yet, but it was right after, sometime after a couple months, maybe after my separation, and I had to really deal with some things, and I felt um, it was like, when you experience a hurt, but when you have to like
Hmm.
when you get wounded, the wound hurts, but when you have to take the band-aid off and you expose that wound, it hurt. The exposure hurts more than the initial wound,
Hmm.
but was a stepping
Hmm.
stone and healing process. Like I needed to go through that. And I remember sitting at work. I worked overnight at the time. I remember sitting at work and I would be in tears. And I tell people, my first two
Hmm.
units are it's a manifestation, or it's tangible evidence of what trauma looks like when you're trying to remember what you've been through, or you're trying to remember your child. I don't even remember most of school.
Mm.
Like I
Right.
don't remember a lot of my childhood school memories. I don't
Right.
remember anything. So when I find there was a moment where God had brought back to my memory a moment, sometime that I spent with my paternal grandmother, and as he
Hmm.
brought those memories back to me, I just sat at my desk, my
Mm.
workstation, and I just cried because
Hmm.
I felt guilty. I'm
Hmm.
like, how did I forget about my grandmother? This is the woman, she loved me, she helped raise me, she took care of me. How did I
Hmm.
forget? How did I allow all of this trauma to overshadow something that's so real
Hmm.
to me
Mm.
and more important to me than even the
Right.
trauma that I had experienced. So, I think it's
Hmm.
important for people to really educate themselves on what trauma is, what it looks like, what it feels like, because it's different for everybody. A
Right.
lot of people don't even
Right.
know that
Yes.
they even have
Everybody.
experienced trauma.
Yes.
They don't know it.
Right. Right. It's true. And some people chalk up their trauma to, well, I am just the way I am, and that's how I'm always gonna be. But something
Right.
happened, right? Because we aren't just born bitter, upset, mean, angry. That's not who we are. So whenever somebody says to me, well, this is just who I am, and either you're gonna take it or leave it alone, something happened, whether they're willing to admit it or not. And it might have happened before they were even in a place to really understand what took place. And then as they begin to develop, their mind blocked out that trauma as a defense mechanism. And now they think that's just how they are, but they haven't actually dealt with what took place to them. So once you understand trauma and you know what it is, I think that then you have to start forgiving, and not just forgiving those who have attacked, accused, manipulated, or played any type of part, but forgiving yourself, because oftentimes, even though when we're the victim, we are still saying we forgive ourselves. we could have done something different. You know, what can a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old do differently from getting beaten day and night, or from being molested or raped? There's nothing that a child can do differently from trauma happening. And so we internalize that and we blame ourselves, and then we take on characteristics, and as I call it, identity crisis that don't even belong to us. So whoever gave that identity to us, we got to give it back. Say, this is your crisis, not mine. And we got to start taking to hit the nail on the head.
Right.
That,
Wow.
yes.
No, Satan. And as important as trauma is, and people may not realize that they have gone through traumatic episodes and have trauma in their life. I don't know.
It just jumped out. I don't know what to do. she not in the background anymore. I don't know. Maybe her phone died or something. I'm imagining that's probably what happened, because it just clicked off, like it's gone. Right?
Yeah.
In the nick of time.
Right.
I mean, we'll try again next Monday, you guys. But live at True BU, RockTruth. Until we meet again.
Did she just turn off the camera? She didn't wait till the show was over. She just that button hit quick.
Wow.
All right, family. YouTube family, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Facebook, for hanging out with us. To Miss Shannon Left Eye Star over here, the CIA is early in the building. To Miss Selena K, she out there still driving on the highways. Hopefully she'll make it home. We're praying for you. And RockTruth.
RockTruth.
See y'all.
Absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah.